Uh, Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Hope all is well. This is Professor Mo. Um, I'm going to create a drawing for um, project one, and there are a total of 9 components. And I'm going to use one sheet of paper, C-size paper, to be able to create blueprints or production drawings. Okay. Um, the first thing you got to do is just bring one part to to be used as a reference. Okay. So the first part that I'm going to use is as a reference is known as bracket. Okay. So this is a bracket. Now we wanted to start the production drawing or mechanical drawings or blueprints for all the parts for the shock assembly. Okay, let me start by doing this. I'm going to go to new and we're going to go to drawing. Okay, so you have by default is a part solid. I'm going to click on radio button called drawing, and then I'm going to give a name. We call it uh, uh, just a production drawing or uh, detailed drawing. Okay, detailed uh, drawing. Okay, so I have to put dash and then drawing. Okay, so we got detailed drawing. Let me just repeat that again. I'm going to go detailed dash or underscore drawing. Okay, so we have given the file name because we have another drawing sheet which we call it bill of materials. Okay, so this is a detailed drawing of all the parts for the shock assembly in one sheet of paper. How do we do that? We click on OK, then we click on empty with format, we click on browse, and then we select C size paper. Okay, so so far we have been using A size and maybe B size, but this is a C size, which is 17 and a half by 24. Okay, so that's an engineering size of C size paper, approximately. All right, so I'm going to click on that and then say open. And it says C size. Okay. All right, so let's close this folder tree for clarity. This is the title block, and this is the revision table. And we're going to go to general view and then say OK. And then we'll bring we click on this area somewhere here. And then we click on front and we say OK. Now, this is how you're going to do the projection or the top view. So this is the front view. Select the front view, and then this tab here on this menu, pop-up menu, we call it projection. Okay, when you click on that, you can just drag your cursor on a vertical direction, and if you go to the horizontal direction, you have a right side view, which we don't need it. Okay, we need the front and the top view. So now that we have the two views, we can double click on here and we say view display, follow environment. Always click on hidden because we want to see the hidden features also. Hidden tangent edges by default, we say none. Okay, none. Okay, so this is the front view, and I'm going to double click on the top view, and we have view display, follow environment, hidden, and tangent edges by default. We're going to say none. All right, so we go okay. So we have the front and the top view. We call it 2D orthographics projection or multi-view projections. All right. So you might say, what will be the scale? Do not worry about the scale at this point. Later on, when we have all the components, we try to scale it, all of them to be the same, okay, to be consistent. So for time being, this is the front, this is the top, And then next, we're going to just add we click on Annotate, and then we go to Show Model Annotation, and then click on this tab here, okay, all the way to the right, and they call it Show the Model Datums. And then you click inside the box, okay? See that you always click inside the box. It gives us, there's too many center lines here because it's overlapping, because there's so what you do is, instead of click on all these boxes, just select this center line, select this center line, and select this center line, and you say apply, okay? And then you click inside the box here, you're going to see this center line and this center line here and this center line, and you say apply and cancel. So now we have, since the whole is only this part is the whole, okay? All right, so because this is also open, if you wanted to extend the center line to pass through this, because this area, if you look at the, from the orthographics projection point of view, this is actually the hole. But if you wanted to say this is a concentric hole, you can just click on this, and then you just stretch that center line to extend about 1/4 of an inch beyond the object line. For example, if you wanted to look at this from the print preview, and you can see that these are the hidden lines, okay? Hidden lines. So if I go to File, Print, Print, and then we say Print Preview, you can see that this is the blueprint. See that it looks blue, and this is the hidden line, and this is the solid line, and that's the center line. These are the object line. That's a round corner. We call it round. And also this is interior round. This is exterior round. And this is the hidden line for the hole. And there is another hole, this circle here. So that's why we have to have a center line passing through this, because we have a concentric circle, okay? Concentric circle. So you got the idea. So just wanted to make sure that you got that. And you know how to dimension by now, and I'm going to show you the dimensioning, but I just wanted to show you how you can add more drawing or more views for the parts, for the 9 parts. So I'm going to do this, okay? Just, you have never seen this before, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you go to layout, you click on layout, and then we say add drawing models, okay? We click on drawing models, and then on this side here, there is a menu pops up. You say add models, okay? Drawing models, add models. So just click on that. It will open your folder, the folder that you have created for project number 1, the shock assembly. You have created 9 parts. So now with the first part we brought in was visible was the bracket. The next one, for example, if you want to bring a pivot, so you double click on pivot, and then you say done and return, and then you go to general view, no combined state, okay, and now you can go front, and now you have the front view, okay. If your views are locked, you should be able to unlock it. So you select, and then you say right click. Now it's unlock. I'm going to lock it, so I won't be able to move it. So you select again. This is the main view. Right click inside there. You said unlock. So now you can move them. Okay. And these two views, the front and the top view, have a fixed relationship. So you should not bring each view one at a time. You bring one. You create the front view, and then the projection view, which is the top. Using the projection view, you can have the top view. So the width of the top view is equivalent to the width of the front view, and so on. Okay, so that's what we have. Now that we have this pivot, and I wanted to use to create the top view, I'm going to click on projection view, and now this is the top view of this. Okay, all right. So if you look at the mechanical drawing for the pivot, we have the front view, and this is the top view. So the next thing is to convert this to a mechanical drawing with the views. We call it a hidden line because we want it to display a hidden line. So to double click, you go view display, follow environment, hidden, and then tangent edges by default, you say none, okay? All right, so none. So now you can see the hidden line in here for this, for the holes that is drilled on the top view, and they since it's not visible on the front view, so it shows it's rules or based on US system of drafting or mechanical drawing, we must indicate the hidden lines, because the hidden lines is going to represent the hidden features on the top view or on the side views if you had a right side view. We have three principal views, which are the front, the top, and the side. For this part, there is no need for the right side view. All we need is the two views to describe the shape of an object, which is isometric. You might say, should I bring the isometric and place it somewhere in this corner? You can do that, but you have to scale it down so you will be able to fit everything on one sheet of paper, right? So double click again here, view display, follow environment, hidden, tangent edges none, and we say okay. All right, beautiful. Now let me show you something here. If you double click on here, the front view, and then you say scale, customer scale is 0.004. We say it's okay. Now if you double click on here and you click on the scale is 0.006. Maybe we can change that to 0.004, so to be consistent. Okay. All right. So this is this scale of, let me see if this one is also, it should scale. Yeah, they are the same, because the front view is going to dictate to the top view to be the same scale. Okay, so and then if I'm going to delete that. Okay, I don't need to show this. Okay, so just I'm trying to explain this to you. And if you double click on here and click on the scale, you can see that also the top view is the scale is 0.004. Okay, all right, so beautiful. And next, I'm going to bring the use support. Okay, use support. So we go drawing models, and then we say add model. Okay, add model. I hope you can see this. Okay, all right. So add model, and then we say use support. Okay, one click or double. If you say one click, then you say open. But if you double click, and then you say done on return, general view, okay, and then you place it in here. You say front, okay, and then you just right click, and then you have the, or select, I'm sorry, select. When you have it, it looks like a rubber band dash line around this view. That means you selected this view. So if you click again on that box, you can see the projection view. So we want to have a right side view. Okay, so that's a right side view for this U support, and this is a threaded shaft. And then I'm going to double click again, the same procedures, view display, follow environment, hidden, tangent edges none, so I can go a little bit faster. Okay, you got the idea. So view display, follow environment, hidden, tangent edges none. Okay, all right, beautiful. Now everything is good to go, and all I have to do is convert the scale again. Okay, I'm going to go double click in here. We go view display, scale, customer scale. We want to change that to 0.004, so to be consistent on the scale. So everything is good to go. All right, so beautiful. Next, it's optional, so we can just bring the bolt maybe, and okay, we can place it somewhere here. So we go drawing model, add model, and we're going to say bolt, and then we say done on return and general view, and then we say okay. We click on here and we say front, and we say okay. So that's a bolt and the threaded shaft. And then we're going to select this and then projection view, and there will be the bottom view. Okay. So that's a bottom view, and double click on here, view display, follow environment hidden, tangent edges none. Okay. All right. So beautiful. That's what we have in here. And then double click and view display, tangent edges, follow environment, hidden, and default, tangent edges is none. Okay. All right. So that's what we see in here. That's a hexagonal held a head bolt, and this is a threaded shaft, and this is our hexagon that we are looking from the bottom here. Okay. All right. So very good. The next thing is to maybe add this. Okay, for time being, this is what we have. Let me just change the scale. Okay, let me change the scale. Scale to customer scale. We say 0.004, and that is okay. It's a little bit too small, but let me just move this to here. Okay, all right. So, and then I'm going to move this a little bit closer here. This way you have room to put other parts. Okay, all right. So you can just move them around, and if you, it's up to you. Okay, it's just a because the scale is just a cosmetic scale. It's not the actual scale. The actual size, the dimension that we put on this mechanical drawing, that will be the actual size, which is, we call it 1 = 1. So the scale is 1 to 1. But if this is too small, you can just change that again scale. You say, you know what? I'm gonna go to point zero, uh, say 0.02. Let's see what will happen. Okay, 0.02. Okay. Oops, that's too much. Okay, that's too much. So I'm gonna go back to scale, and that will be point zero zero, say 6. Okay, 6. All right, so that's good enough, and that looks good. Okay, all right, so let me see if I can bring it a little bit lower, and then maybe move this a little bit uh, higher. Okay, so I can move a little bit down here. All right, so that looks good. Next, I'm going to add Centerline. We go to Annotate and Show Model Annotation. And on this menu here, Show Model Annotation, we have the Datum Access Display. So we're going to click on here, and we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we say Apply and cancel. So, oops, I should have not canceled, but that's okay. Show model again, click on this box, and we have 1, 2, 3. So apply and then cancel. Okay. So we can just do the same thing in here inside the box, and you can see that this is the front view. We don't need this to go all the way to the top here. Okay, and I'm going to say accept this, accept that, and I'm going to do some modification. Okay, let me see if I can just click on this and bring it down. Okay, all right, so we don't need to go all the way up there, because this is just to be equidistant from each side. So we have a this is maybe a little bit lower, and then this is see if I can move this a little bit higher. Okay, so that's the center line, and this center line, I think, because this is supposed to be that. Let me see if I can delete. If I delete this, it was designed that way. Okay, it was designed that way, because if I delete, I thought maybe there was overlapping. Let me see if I undo that. Okay, so that's all right, because this is going all the way through. Okay, from this side to that side. That's fine. You can just leave it like that. All right, so we go to show model annotation on this one here, and then we have the uh, this and this, and we say, all right, so let me just do that one more time, and then apply, cancel. Now, this part here, I think the only thing we have to do is, because this is fine, I'm going to take that and extend a little bit further to uh, pass through this object line. Okay, so that's what we have now, and everything is good to go. And then for the bolt, we can just give it center line here. Okay, apply, cancel. So we got the bolt, and then I'm going to click on it, and then a little bit of a stretch. So that's, there we go, and that's good to go. And then maybe if this one here, I can just bring it a little bit lower. Okay, all right, so there we go. And then I need to also put a center line on this bottom view. So I have the this here, and so I'm happy with this, and then apply, cancel. So far so good. And now we're gonna bring say castle knot or self-locking knot. Okay, let's just go and say show model and take, oops, not the show model. Go back to layout, say drawing model, add model. Next one, maybe we can just say castle knot. Okay, uh, open, and then done and return, general view. Okay, and then we have the front view. Okay, that's a castle knot. We have the front view. Okay, that's a front view, and let me just move this a little bit lower, and then I can just select and projection. That's a projection view, the top view. All right, so that's what we have. A little bit cosmetic. Okay, you can just move them around, make sure that they are not really too close to each other, so there's a room for dimensioning and all that. So you repeat that again. You go view display, follow environment, hidden tangent edges none, and you say okay. All right, so and that's a threaded hole. That's not really, it's a cosmetic thread. Okay, cosmetic thread with a V shape. So if you're looking at the textbook that it has a two dash line side by side, that's a simplified version of the thread. There are different types of threads. Notation symbol, one is a detail thread. This is called detail thread, and then the two dash line next to each other, we call it the simplified threads. Okay, all right. So, and then I'm gonna just double click on here, view display, hidden tangent edges none, and we say okay. All right, so there we go. And then if you wanted to change the scale, okay, scale 0.037. I think we can go to 0.04, which if you go 0.004 is going to be too small. Okay, we can adjust that later on. Okay, so that's good enough. Or compared to the rest, I will just go back and say scale 0.004, and there we go. Okay, but it's too small, you can see that. um, I am going to just change that scale to point zero, maybe 8. Okay. Oops, that's too much. Uh, so your scale, and that is 0.04. Okay. All right. So that's good enough for time being, or just bring it down, and here bring this a little bit lower. Let me see if I can try this one more time. I will go to scale 0.0, and instead of 0.04, I can go to point zero point zero uh, point zero 0.01. Let's see, 0.01, what that will be. That's too small. Scale 0.09. Oops. This will be a scale of uh, 0.05. I think this is, there is really no need, but I'm just experimenting. Okay, 0.0, point 009. Okay, let's see if that will work. Okay, a little bit too small, but that's okay. All right, so we can just leave it there and then we can adjust it later, okay? If we have more space, so we can just adjust it. All right, so because if we go to 0.0, all right, so let's just leave it there for time being, okay? So we're gonna go to add model, okay? Go back to layout, and then we go to drawing models, add models, and this time we're gonna have a self-locking knot, and then done and return, and then we go general view, okay, and then we say this is the self-locking knot, the front view, and now we're gonna just click on here, projection, that's the top view. So let's just move it down a little bit. Okay, so let's see if I can say this is the scale is 0.023. I can just change that to 0.01. Okay, 0.01. All right, so that's a little bit smaller. Okay, good. So that's a good one here. All right, so if I could and do that again, say scale 0.01. Okay, all right, so and then we double click on here, we say view display, follow environment, hidden and tangent edges none. Okay, all right, so do the same thing and for this one, view display, follow environment, hidden, tangent edges none. Okay, all right, so let me just delete that. Next, we're gonna bring a washer. Okay, we have two types of washer. So we drawing models, add model, and then we're gonna have the plain washer, and then we say done and return, and that will general view. Okay, we have the front. Let's see if it can front view, and then we can have. I mean the projection will be projection view will be the top. That's a top view for the washer. And so let's see if the scale is 0.027, and we're gonna just click on maybe 0.01. Okay, all right, so we can bring this a little bit lower, and then we just double click. We go view display, follow environment, hidden line, tangent edges none, and then we repeat for this one here, view display, follow environment, hidden, none. Okay, so we have that. And then let me just get rid of the scale so we don't need that. All right, so this is the plain washer. And then we have another one called ISO washer, okay? Drawing models, add model. And then we have the ISO, okay, washer ISO. And then we go done and return, general view, okay. So this is the front view. And then we have a click on that projection view. That's a top view. The dimensions are, they look the same, but they have different dimensions. Okay, this one probably will be used next to the bushing, and this is where we have the castle knot. Okay, all right. So, or yeah, okay. So double click and scale it, point 0.01. Okay. This is also okay, because they're the same. Okay, all right. So this is maybe a little bit. This is scale it 0.02. Okay, all right. So that's good enough, and the scale of that one is 0.02 also. Okay, all right. So oops, that's too big. Oh, scale it 0.015. Okay, so let me just move this to the side. So, and then double click, view display, follow environment, hidden line and tangent and none, and do the same thing for the top view, and follow environment, hidden, tangent edges none. Okay, all right. So you can see everything is clear there, and we can have a center line quickly. We're gonna just add annotate, show model annotation, and then click on this here. We say, okay, we'll just say 1, 2, 3, and then apply, and then click on here, and then we have just a one of them here. So we have apply, and then we go to here. That's a one, center line there, apply. Do the same thing in here. Just click on it, apply, and then you can come here. You say, click on that, and you click on it. Okay, apply, and we do the same thing in here, and that's it. Oops. Oh, there's one more in here. So that's what we have. Okay, apply, and then we can just go to this here, and there we go. Apply, cancel. A little bit if you want to move this a little bit higher, and this is a little bit higher. Okay, and there we go. I just don't like this because it's, oh, I have to maybe move this a little bit, pass through there, and then I can move this all the way down to here. That looks nicer. Okay, nice. Okay, then we have a center line in here. Let me see if I can change the scale of this one to 0.02. Apply. Okay, I think this is maybe better looking. Okay, all right. So there we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need one more component, and that is bushing. Okay, let me show you how you create a section view for the bushing. Okay, let's do this. So I'm gonna go and add, go to layout, drawing models, add models, and then we click on bushing. Okay, let's see if I have, yeah, bushing, double click, and then done and return, and then you go to general view, and then okay, you click somewhere here, and you say front view. Okay, front view, and then I'm going to create and the projection called top view. I'll tell you why, okay? Why I'm doing this, because you won't be able to create a section view without having the top view. So let me just maybe change the scale, and that scale is 0.016. And if we change that to 0.0, because eventually I'm gonna delete the top view, so that's good enough. Okay, that's good. So double click and say view display, follow environment hidden, tangent edges none. Okay, and this is view display, hidden, tangent edges none. Okay, all right. So let me just zoom it a little bit so you can see that. Okay, so let me bring this a little bit lower. All right, so I wanted to show you how section view is done, okay? Just pay attention because some of you asked me these questions, and I'm going to show you clearly, okay, what's going on. First of all, when you do the section view, you need to have a plane that goes through the center of this bushing. Okay, let's just turn on the plane. All right, so there is a plane that goes through the center of this. Hopefully that's the front datum plane. Okay, front datum plane. And always you click on the view that you wanted to put the cross hatching or section lining. So what I will do is I double click on here. I go to sections. Okay, I'm gonna go slow because you can see that sections. Then you say you click on 2D, add, and then you say create new. I just wanted to show you that create new. Now that we said create new, it's gonna ask you, is it planar and a single? And then you say yes. Okay, it's highlighted black. Okay, you say done. Now you have a new window open here. It says what's the name of this section. Enter the name of this for cross section. I'm gonna say A. Okay, I'm gonna say A, and then we check it, and now we have another menu open. It says which plane you want to cut through. I want to see that. Just move your cursor close to the front datum. Okay, let me just move this here so you can see it. See here, you have a front datum. It says datum DTM1. Actually, that's a DTM1. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. Now, when you see this green check mark, that means you did it correctly. Now, if you scroll this to the right, and then under arrow display, if you click on this area, and then it's asking you where do you want the arrow to be this or cutting plane line to be displayed, and you click inside this box, and then you say apply, and then okay, and you're gone. Okay, all right. So now you can see that this is the section view or section AA. Turn off the plane for clarity and access. Okay, the access. So there we go. One thing you have to remember that when we are cutting this bushing from the center of this from the top view, and this is called the cutting plane. Okay, this is a cutting plane line. It's like taking a saw and cutting through the center of this. Okay, so that's section AA. One thing you have to really get rid of, because remember we brought this as a hidden, because that's a hidden line. Double click on here, just go back to the view display, and instead of hidden, the only time you use no hidden when you're dealing with a section view. Section view means you're revealing interior portion of the object, so you don't need to have a hidden line, so no hidden. And then we say okay. See it? That is clear now. If I double click on cross hatching, okay, X hatch, and then we wanted to make the spacing between the cross hatching smaller, I'm going to click on a spacing, and then I'll say half. See that? I just decrease the spacing between the cross hatching, and then I'll say done. You can leave this top view. I think it's supposed to have the front view is showing in your textbook. You can leave it the top because that's a proper way. Okay, so you can now add the go to annotate and show model annotation. Click on you want the center line, and then say yes, and then you want center line in here. Say yes, apply. Now, if you want to expand the center line to go, see I'm expanding the center line. So there we go. And now this you can move a little bit higher. And maybe if you want this scale to be, always you click on the one that you brought first, which is this one. I can scale it a little bit smaller, 0.016. So if I go to 0.01, and that will be okay. All right, so let me just bring this a little bit lower. Now I have these are the details drawing, and then I'm gonna just get rid of that, and then get rid of this here. If you want, you can just put a name tag, say this is a bracket, And this is, say you go to note, for example, you come here, you say bracket, okay, bracket. So you just put that in there, and then you can go here to the note. You can say this is, oops, you say note, you can say this is, come on, uh, and then you can say this is pivot, okay, pivot. All right, there we go. And then this is, let me just get rid of the scale here. All right, so it looks nice. And if you wanted to bring isometric and position it there, which is, there is no need, okay, no need, because we already have the solid models, and also we have exploded view and the assembly and all that. Okay, so let me just move this a little bit closer to there. And this is, doesn't look good. Sorry that I'm a little bit picky, because I've been teaching manual drafting for many years, and it was highly recommended that your work has to stand out. So people look at your work, they say that this is, you know, the rules for drafting mechanical drawing. So that's why I always go and check to see if there's something that out of the place, and you need to adjust that. Okay, all right. So uh, all right, so that is good to go. All right, great. Everything is clear now. The next thing is to, I'm gonna leave it up to you to add the name. For example, here this is the U support. Okay, U dash support. Okay, U support. And this is maybe we can just go here, and we can say this is bolt. Okay, bolt. All right, so, and this one here, I believe we call that castle knot, or that is yeah, castle knot. Okay, and that's the self-locking knot. So I can put a note in here. We call that this is castle knot. Okay, castle knot. And this one here is self-locking knot. Okay, locking knot. Okay, self-locking knot. Let me check this. Yeah, that's good. All right, and this is just a washer. Okay, this is washer, just a plain washer. Okay, and this one is also washer, but we call it ISO. If you look at the bill of material, the number 9, the part number 9, it says washer ISO. So I'm gonna have the washer. Oops. Um, washer dash isometric. Okay, ISO 7090. Okay, 7090. That's a code. Okay, ISO 7090. We have one more. Okay, I just came all the way to here, so I'm gonna say this is bushing. Okay, so again, I leave it up to you to leave the top view, or you just delete the top view and keep only the front section view. But this is the proper way of showing the section view. You have to have the front and the top, because we cut through the top view. I know a lot of people in the past asked me why we have only this. How do we do the section view without having the top view? Just create the top view, projection view from the front view, and there we go. So when you have that, then you are ready to go. Okay, all right. So, and then we say bushing. All right, great. And now that you have all these mechanical drawings for the shock assembly, you can just go and dimension it. And the dimensioning, you can do the manual dimensioning, or you can just do the automatic dimensioning. Just go to this dimension. For example, click inside here. Oops, that's too many. Okay, so we can maybe, if I click on for dimensioning, okay, let me cancel that and then cancel this here. Show model. Okay, okay, so not a good idea because there's so much, it just overcrowded and it is time consuming. So the easy way is to look at the mechanical drawing that you have, and you say, you know what, for the bracket I need these dimension, and I'm gonna just show you this, and then I leave it up to you to do the rest of them. Okay, all right. So say for example you wanted to dimension a circle in here, so you have three circles, and then you double click to get the diameter. Okay, diameter. So I have one, and then I have a double click on here. I have another diameter. Just leave it there, and then you can adjust. You can just do the cosmetic work. And double click on here, and that's the third one. Okay, 225. Now, if you want the arrow to point it to the circumference, you can just okay, have all three of them highlighted, and then you go to right click. Okay, and then let me cancel this here first, and then I can just do this and say, oops, you say flip arrows. Okay, flip arrows. Do the same thing in here. Say, oops, when you click on it, see this two, to see this here, and say flip arrows. I'm going to show you one more time for this one. Just click on it, and you see this menu, remember, and it says flip arrows. Okay, flip arrows. So now it's up to you to make some adjustment, cosmetic work. So move them a little bit around so that they don't overlap with each other, and that is the three dimensions. And then if you want to dimension from the center of one circle, control, all the control down, and then you have this measurement 710. Okay, middle click to position it. And then if you wanted to dimension for this side here, just click on that, middle click to position. And if you wanted to dimension from this line, control to here, so that's 150. And it's a little bit time consuming dimensioning, but it's doable, and you have to have patience. Okay, patient. Okay, so this is, sometimes there's no space to have the dimension inside here, so you can just leave it outside. 720. So, and then if you double click on this circle, yeah, one click is a radius. If I double click, yeah, quickly, you just double click and you get the diameter. And now you can say flip arrows. Okay, great. It looks better. If you wanted to say two times, okay, if you want to say two circle with the same diameter, you can see that you might say, well, how do I put two times? This is what you do. You click on this, and then you go to dimension text. Okay, dimension text, and then just put the cursor, click on at the D. You say two times. Okay, that's all you have to do, and then it shows you the two times. Means two circles with the same diameter. So I think I'm done with dimensioning of the top view, and then the dimensioning of the front view. It's a little bit tedious, but you just do this, say this radius, and then there's a four of them with the same radius, four of those fillet radius. So if I go and dimension from here, control to here, and that's a 375, and then from this point, control to this point, total measurement is 950, and then the outside radius is R50 radius. So, and then if you wanted to dimension this here, which is the height, is going to be 140. Okay, so I can go and dimension from there to here. That is supposed to be, oh, not to there. Okay, escape. I'm going to go and dimension from this point, control to this point here. That's 140. And then I can go from the top to the bottom, all the control key on the keyboard. Okay, and that should be 238. All right, so I just showed you, just because it's as an example, I've shown you how to do the dimension, how to add dimension to each component. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here. You should be able to continue and give dimension for the rest of the mechanical drawings for each part, like a pivot, U support, and bolt. And let me just show you one thing in here. If you should just write a note, for example, for the shaft, if you wanted to say, okay, how can I, on a bolt, okay, here, how can I show the chamfer, okay? There's a chamfer down here, and because it's just, I think it got cut through the threads. But if you wanted to say there is a chamfer in here, you can just use the node with the leader, and then you just click on somewhere here, and then you can just type 1 by 45, 1x, um, okay, 1, oops, 1 by 45, and then degrees. Okay, so let me see if we have a degree symbol in here. Okay, so there we go. So if someone asks, okay, how do you do this? It just use the lead. Okay, just like that. So that's a 145. If you want to put a note for example, this is M48 by 5. I can do it here, or I can go down here to the hexagon. I will say, okay, note, and then leader node. So I can just put that against this here. And then you can just give a node, say M48 by 5, M48 by 5. 5 is a pitch. So you got the ideas how to do that, okay? Because you might just, ask me, how do you do this? This is how you do it, okay? All right, so the rest are, I think, is easy to do the dimensioning for the rest of them. And then you put your name, all the information in here. So I can put a note on the title block, oh, with no leader. Okay, I'm gonna go to an attached note. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna put the note in here. Say drawn by. Okay, and say Dr. Mo. Okay, so I'm going to just move them a little bit. Okay, adjust them. All right, so maybe just delete a little bit here. Okay, and this is um, ENGE 151. Okay, ENGE 151. And then if you want to put a scale in here, you can give this scale. Okay, scale. And the actual scale is 1 equals 1. Okay, 1 equals 1. Then you put a date, maybe. You just put a date of this is the title is the shock assembly. Okay, and these are the detailed drawing for the shock assembly. You can just maybe move this here to another location, so you can move them to here, and then you can have the put a date somewhere here. Okay, date. This is, say today is date is 4-22-2020. Okay, all right, so that's what we have. And if it's, you wanted to make it more precise, and then you can go to title, uh, okay, title, okay, and so this is a detailed drawing. Okay, you can say detail, uh, detailed drawing, uh, the drawing, and then shock assembly. Okay, and then that's a SHOCK. Okay, shock assembly. Assembly. Oh, went out of the page. No problem. We're gonna adjust it a little bit. I can just double click inside here. So let me see if I can move this a little bit. Let me see. I wanted to change the font. Okay. All right. So okay. I just or maybe I can just put okay shock assembly. All right. So this is and then if I give that the font size, okay, the font, and then the height is 0.156, and maybe we can just change that to 0.125. Okay, that's better. And then I can do the same thing in here, and that is 0.125. All right, so and then we can just move this to this area somewhere here. Okay, all right, so I think that's about it. Okay, I'm going to stop right here and then I'm going to post it on YouTube. And again, I didn't finish dimensioning all of them. I'm leaving up to you guys, to finish that. I know some of you will say, oh, since the professor didn't finish it, so I don't have to finish. No, no, no. You got to finish the rest. I just showed you an example of how to do dimensioning. Okay. Okay. Good luck.